Good evening, world. Welcome to episode 10 of Hot Takes and Headlocks. I am the host of the show, Joe, aka Spanish85, and over here we have the one, the great, the boss man himself, Mitch. Mitch, how we doing today, dude?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Excited to talk some wrestling with you. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, especially what just broke early on today. So,
Yeah.
yeah, whenever you're ready, man, let's just get started. I'm excited.
So big news that was announced today by JR. Arguably everyone's number one commentator, especially growing up in the Attitude Era, announced that he was diagnosed with colon cancer. Thoughts and prayers headed your way, JR. I grew up hearing your calls during iconic matches. My favorite match that you've ever called was The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 18. And who could ever forget those one-liners you dropped during Hell in a Cell, Undertaker versus Mankind? It's just sad, but they it sounds like he's got a real positive attitude. He's gonna get it worked on, and positive vibes your way, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Just like for you, I grew up watching him. He's a little more in my era. Him and Jerry the King Lawler, to me, that's a perfect commentary duo. I mean, people bring up Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler. That's a close one, but nothing beats this one. So JR, even though he's in AEW, or was he there, or is he there right now?
He's still with AEW. He's more on a part-time schedule now.
Okay, okay. So that is a great thing that you brought that up, a part-time schedule, because someone in his age that really needs some time off, take care of his health, spend time with his family, because we
Yeah.
honestly don't know how much longer he has left. We don't. And then you look at Jerry the King Lawler as well when he had that heart attack live on Raw. So I'm just
Oof.
saying, these guys and their travel schedules, even for commentators, big time, man. Like, dang, travel
Yeah.
schedule.
Yeah. And AEW they have they have a much lighter travel schedule for their talent.
Yeah,
They have Wednesdays and Saturdays, and then a third night if they're doing a pay-per-view. And as far as I'm concerned, correct me if I'm wrong, that's it.
pretty much. That is yeah, pretty much. And what's up, Daniel? How's it going,
What's
man?
up, Daniel?
Thank you for stopping by, man. But yeah, my favorite match that he called was he called Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, right? Wrestle no,
He
Triple
did.
H. He called all those Hell in a Cell. He called all those matches, so I'm just gonna call him 1, 2, and 3. Just that era alone. I did like the John Cena and The Rock a little bit, which John Cena is my greatest of all time. I love that guy, my favorite of all time, my hero. But yeah, I gotta go with those three. Definitely. Like you
Man,
can't.
I would be careful telling John Cena that he's your hero because he'll put you through a table when you least expect it. I've
Hey,
seen it firsthand with my own eyes. He did it, and you got to be careful with that stuff, man.
I could turn it into an RKO. Like Randy did with all those. How many RKOs were there? I still have to go back and count how many RKOs were there in this match alone.
There was a lot. I saw multiple table spots, man. Uh, they keep teasing us with the head punts. It's like you're either like if you're gonna tease it, I feel like we need to see it.
Yes,
We need to see just one.
exactly. Exactly. It's just like one after the other. Then the punt, our truth comes in. And it's just like that sets up your match for Saturday night's main event. They're going to announce that tomorrow on SmackDown, pretty much. So, yeah, John Cena is my hero, man. I met him. So, I'll be careful. I'll be careful. But did you catch the end of Backlash? Like him looking at the title, look how upset he was. And then you saw
Yeah,
the crowd chanting, "Thank you, Cena."
it's
There was a
almost it's
crack.
almost
There
like
was a crack.
it was almost like he like a show of regret on his face,
Yeah.
like he wishes it didn't have to come to this or something. But I don't know. I feel like they need to explain that more to us.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Maybe our truth can be that guy, to fully get him into that. And then it kind of brought up your take a while ago with The Rock, right? How you kind of like saw like the switch, him trying to find himself and all that. So
Yeah,
maybe The
yeah.
Rock does come back. Maybe we just don't know. Probably not.
Uh, Probably not, man. I feel like if The Rock was going to come back, he should have came back at Mania. I feel like if you're going to start a heel run and The Rock's involved with it, somehow everything needs to line up with him showing up at Mania during his match with Cody. But we got Travis Scott. We got Travis
Yeah.
Scott instead.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on Travis Scott. I don't mind his song at all. I really don't. I don't listen as a lot, but I don't mind it at the end of the day. I know a lot of wrestling fans hate it now. I think you're one of them, right? You don't like his song theme.
I definitely have some recency bias towards it in a sense that it got overplayed way too much.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's going to be the type of thing where, give it a year, maybe 2 years, and then when you look back on it, it's like, that song probably wasn't that bad. But right now it's like keep that song away from me as far as possible. Keep it
Yeah.
away. Keep it away.
But I kind of love how we're talking about Travis Scott right now because I always wanted to get this off my chest. I never had the chance to. With like Queens of the Ring, we got a whole docket, the plan, and everything. We're on two networks and stuff like that. So here's a good time for me. I love how celebrities take time in their schedules to learn their craft, to learn what it's like to be a WWE superstar with the travel schedule, the workouts and all of that. I love that so much. I just hate when it comes to Logan Paul. When it comes to Logan Paul, I can't stand that. So,
What
yeah,
what dude, he checks all those boxes that you just said right now.
yeah.
He did the work. So what is it about Logan Paul that even though he checks your boxes, it's like, no, I still hate Logan Paul.
It's just like his background and everything. It's just like the stuff he's done in the past. I'm like, that's not me. I don't like him just because of that and like all
He's
that stuff he's
controversial.
Yeah, he is, and I don't like
He's
that side of a take. I'm more of a Jake Paul kind of guy than Logan Paul. So, yeah, I love what he's doing. But, yeah, you look at these celebrities, right? Travis Scott, Bad Bunny, who's a big one. Remember his entrance? I'm
oh
like,
yeah.
oh my God. I just watched that video today. Like, I was watching these guys react to the biggest pops in WWE history. I'll send you this video because it was really, really good. They were talking about Bad Bunny's entrance with the drone shot, everyone singing along. It was great. That
The
was
fir-
great.
the first time I ever saw him do uh a I forget who he did it to, but the first time I saw him do a destroyer on somebody,
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god, I've never seen a celebrity do that before. Hell, I never
right.
even seen that move performed on WWE programming before. Like that was crazy. It meant something for so many reasons. And then you hear afterwards everybody confirming like no, like he did the work. He stayed around and showed all the respect to the performers, put in all the work, training, going into the ring. Yeah, he did. He did it, man. And I like you also agree that when you have all of these celebrities come in and put in that work, it it really, in my opinion, it legitimizes WWE even more. Hell, it legitimizes the sport of professional wrestling more. Because
Yeah,
when you have these mainstream people doing the things that these performers are doing, and they're talking about how dude, this isn't a walk in the park, right? Like you really have to know your craft and know what you're doing and earn the trust of these people. That that legitimizes the sport of professional wrestling even more.
Yeah, definitely. Because I was watching this podcast called Raw Talk. It's with this influencer. Hey, what's up, Xavier? How's it going, man?
What's
How's
going
it
on,
going,
dude?
bro? Hey, how's it going? So, I was watching this podcast. Bradley Martin, he's an influencer about the gym and all that stuff. He had Dominic Mysterio on, and Dominic was just talking about all these celebrities coming in and learning their craft because it's very, very difficult. If you guys don't know the WWE craft, and go look it up because the workload is horrendous. It's like, oh my, how do you describe the workload? I can't even describe it because it's that difficult.
Dude, like it's I mean, I'm just going by off of what I know, which is probably the very tip of the iceberg, right?
Yeah.
But there's the time that you spend in the ring. There's the time that you spend traveling, driving, going to the gym, staying healthy, eating
Yeah.
clean, and then you have to pay for your own stuff, right? Like
Yep.
they've gone on record saying we are independent contractors, right? So they have to pay for everything themselves. They don't get health care. They pay for their own health care. It's so much that they're responsible for on their own. And we don't see too we hear a little bit here and there about that, but we don't really get to see it often. But what they do to be able to maintain their their figure, to eat clean and work out while driving, doing media training at the same time, it's a lot. It's a lot that we don't see.
Yeah. And Travis Scott, I don't know if you guys noticed in the chat or whoever you're watching the replay, he's learning under Booker T. He's training under a Hall of Famer in Booker T right now and trying to
That's a
get
good
in
guy
that
to train
ring.
under.
Yeah, he's a very good guy. I have so much respect for Booker T, except for that whole thing with Stephanie Vaquer and that whole thing. I find that hilarious. But it's just like, yeah, it's just like Travis Scott. If he can actually do a match, I'll have more respect for him. But he hasn't really done anything yet. He
Nah,
hasn't done
well, that's
anything.
that's not true. He busted Cody's eardrum, so
I forgot about that. Oh my
somebody
god, I
for
forgot about
somebody
that.
forgot to tell Travis Scott that you're not supposed to bust your opponent's eardrum. But hey,
Yeah.
you learn. You learn.
Yeah, you definitely learn. And when you look back at these past superstars, or not superstars, celebrities, like look at the guy from Jackass. Who was that guy again? He fought
Steve-O,
Sami Zayn.
Johnny Knoxville.
Knoxville. Like superstar like celebrities would do stuff like that. Like one thing and they're done and they're gone. Hugh Jackman, I remember he knocked out what was it, Jericho? I believe he knocked
Yeah.
out Jericho.
Arnold
So
Schwarzenegger knocked out Triple H.
yeah.
Yeah.
Donald Trump and that whole battle of billionaires thing.
Oh my God. The
Guys,
worst. Yeah, I remember from that Mania show, the worst clothesline I've ever seen in my life, and he did it to Vince McMahon. The worst clothesline I've ever seen in my life. Oh my
that,
gosh.
that was just perfect. I mean, like, that was so funny. And that was my favorite Umaga match.
Oh yeah.
That was one of my favorite Umaga matches. Because
Oh,
Umaga is just like, he was so good in the ring, but it's just like, yeah. Hey, what is up, Ref? How's it going, man? Thank you for stopping by, man. Thank you for stopping
thanks for
by.
watching, Raph. Chime
Of
in whenever
course.
you like in the chat, guys. If you want to
Yeah,
get involved with the conversation, feel free.
yeah.
So, Mitch, I got a hot take for you that I want to share with
Hot
you.
take and headlocks. Let's get it. What is up, Alexander?
Alex, what's going on, man? So as you know, WrestleMania is the Super Bowl of pro wrestling. Do you
Yeah.
agree? All
Yes.
right, cool. What does the Super Bowl do that a lot of people, even the casual football viewer, likes to watch?
The halftime show?
Exactly, the halftime
Okay.
show. So my hot take for you is this: WrestleMania. It is now split into two nights.
Okay.
I think WrestleMania should have a halftime show.
You know what? I was talking about something like this with a friend of mine, and he's very big in WWE and all this stuff. I'm trying to get him on a podcast, but he's just so dang busy with work. It's very difficult. But he was like, Mitch, they need more concerts at WrestleMania and stuff like that. And I'm like, what, to open and close the show? He's like, no, spread them out, twinkle them out a little bit here and there. So he goes one in the beginning, one maybe like at the end of night one before the main event, and then for night two you start off with one, and then you have another one like in the middle of a night two, but it's not as long. So I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
that might be a little bit too much. That might be a little bit over the line. But for
Yeah.
me, I just want to see like these singers and rappers do something. So yeah, and SummerSlam, two night event, and you're going to that.
Yeah, yeah, Alex, are you going to that? If you are, let me know because I'll probably see you over there. I'll be. I was able to snag my tickets, dude. So I think that the idea of a halftime show at Mania
Hmm.
is great. I'd so be down for it. Over the years, we have had some manias that had some performers performing in the middle of the show, right? And this is when Mania was just one night, right?
Yeah,
Though one of the ones that I remember is Pitbull. Pitbull performed at WrestleMania. One of the songs that he performed was Green Light.
yeah,
Um, and and great song. Huge fan of Pitbull. That song is awesome. It gets me pumped up and everything. But when you have that, when you add that to everything else that's going on into Mania, granted, when you do a Mania for just one night, all those matches plus a concert, it may seem like a lot, but the way you pace everything out, the way everything is timed, I think it could work and it would make it so much more fun. And you get more people to view the product because if you announce someone who's going to be performing as a halftime show guest at Mania, you
yeah.
get more viewers. You're going to get more buy-ins from people that want to watch that. You're going to get uh, new viewers. More importantly, that's what they're always trying to get. They're always trying to get new viewers, and you can do that, especially on the show of shows, WrestleMania.
I
Um,
completely agree with you on that. I completely agree. Just how long would you have the concert be? Like my friend goes like he was like 20. I forget what he said exactly. Maybe like 20 minutes because like he said, it's sprinkle them out a little bit. So I'm like, okay, half hour each one, maybe. But he's like, maybe that's too much. So how long should like a halftime show or break be?
10 minutes. Do 10 minutes. We
Okay.
don't need to see. In my opinion, we don't need to see, or I don't, or I'll speak for myself. I don't need to see someone perform 15, 20 songs. Just give us your biggest hits. Maybe they're like maybe three songs.
Yep.
Their biggest hit thus far, their biggest hit that they've ever had, and then one more that they're trying to push out on current radio or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But just a 10-minute halftime show, music, fun. They could perform. This is one thing actually. Anytime there's been a performer, they've always performed either on the main stage or on the ramp, but they've
Yeah.
never had someone perform in the middle of the ring.
Oh my God, I gotta think about that. Wow, I never thought of that.
Yeah, no celebrity has, not counting for the national anthem. First off,
Right. Right.
those are done in the middle of the ring. But anybody that performed in a concert in a concert S type of performance. Nobody's ever done that in the middle of the ring, ever.
That like that would be something maybe like at the can you imagine that at like Lincoln Financial Field at WrestleMania 40 or something like that or at SummerSlam? Aren't they gonna have Nicki Minaj there like as the host or something?
Cardi B,
Cardi B, sorry, I I mix them up all the time, but
Cardi B, Cardi B.
it looks like we're gonna get a Cardi B concert maybe.
Yeah, probably. Or maybe she might come out and like welcome everybody to SummerSlam or something.
Yeah,
Whatever they want to pay her to do to bring viewers in, fine. That's fine. But yeah, like they always say like, hey, let's give a big thank you to the Weeknd for providing their song to be the theme song of WrestleMania. This year it was Travis Scott, right? So
yeah,
you have these guys that that lent WWE their music to be the theme song of WrestleMania. Well, why not take it one step further and have them perform the theme song that WWE choose, the song that WWE chose to be the theme song for WrestleMania at WrestleMania?
yeah. I could definitely see that, but it's so important that you get the time down right because you don't want the other matches to get like in the way. Like, let's say, for example, we had Dominic Mysterio against Braun Breaker for the IC title or something. You don't want that match to hurt because you have a concert coming up. You just got to
Right.
make sure the match placements. Like, if it's like a squash, like Gunther versus Pat McAfee or something, put that in there. Like throw
Yeah.
that right there, then you have a concert right after that. So
Right.
got you just got to do something, man. You just got to do something with that, and I think that's a great idea. Honestly, who would you love to have at a concert?
That's a good question right there. Um, if I had to choose somebody that we have not, that WWE has not had live, I mean, number one, The Weekend. I'm a huge fan of The Weekend. He would be good. We've had Pitbull already. Um, who else? Who else could there be?
I mean, they already had this guy, but I think he had like something similar to a concert, and that was Snoop Dogg. Remember the
Yeah,
whole thing? He had to come in and like save the match because Shane McMahon got hurt.
yeah.
That was actually
I
kind of
remember
something,
that.
but yeah, Snoop Dogg could be one. I'm just like, I don't want to say this, but Kendrick Lamar, I could totally see him doing that after what he did at the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's
So
true. Yeah.
I could see Kendrick Lamar, maybe Drake. He's a huge WWE fan. He was at Elimination Chamber for crying out loud. He was there.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep. Yes, he
he actually
was. Yes, he was.
he followed Liv Morgan on Instagram.
I heard about that.
I'm
I
like,
heard about that.
damn. That was just crazy. But yeah, it's something we can definitely talk about. Maybe Will Smith. I'm a huge Will Smith guy. But after everything that he's happened, he's not the highest up there right now. But personally,
No.
I would love him. I would love to see him personally. That's like my favorite. So
Yep.
I grew up watching Fresh Prince of Bel Air. So
Yep. Same here. I grew up watching that show as well. Will Smith would be an interesting choice. Um, who?
and
Think about it. What if? Oh my gosh. Think of all the people that have done songs for Monday Night Raw. So you've had Papa Roach do songs for Monday Night Raw. You've had Nickelback do a theme song for Monday Night Raw. What if these guys, those would be some great bands that WWE can have to perform at a halftime show. And if it takes off, if somebody in WWE is watching this stream right now and they're like, "Holy crap, these guys are onto something," and they do it and it takes off and people love it at Mania, maybe then they'll stretch it out over to other shows, some of the other big fours, right? SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, or something.
SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble. Yeah, just keep it to the big four. I would not have it on every single PLE.
No,
I would
definitely
not.
not. No.
No. Would I could see them doing that as like a at a Saudi show in Saudi Arabia. Could you imagine that? I could. Saudi's got some money. They got some money over there. They can fork up.
They do. They do.
So yeah, it's definitely something to talk about here. But yeah, I never thought about it's a halftime show unless my friend brought it up. That was like 2 weeks ago. But then it was just like, yeah, it kind of slipped my mind there. But yeah, I agree with that hot take a lot. It just depends on the placement of the matches for me. Like what is in front, what is behind, what is on the
And
back.
is it on night one or night two, or is it on both nights?
Like my friend said, he would like do 15 minutes, uh, one to open the show. He did like 10 minutes for the middle, and then the same thing on night two. Just like keep it like the same thing. So he would like have more, four, but small. But here's another thing too, though, with the what is the word? The smarts, the marks, whatever. Would they like it? I can imagine IWC, whatever that is, going right out the window.
Oh man, there would be one opinion after another. This is not pro wrestling. You don't do this. Da 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 da. You like, bro. You got like every other professional sport. Number one has logos in or around the field or the court, wherever, whatever sport it is. There are logos for sponsors all over the place. Number one, we
Yeah,
just started having logos within the ring, and when that happened, even with Prime last year, people were like, this is outrage. You don't do this. That's not what pro wrestling is about, bro. It's a business, man. It's a business, and that's a way that you make money. That's how you get
yeah.
more eyes on a product. So, like, it is what it is. If you don't like it, change the channel, watch something else.
Yeah, but also to go with the logos you were saying, there was one on what was it, Backlash we just had. The one in the middle was just like bright yellow, but then as the match was going on, you barely saw it anymore. You like don't pay attention to logos; they become like obsolete.
Obsolete. I like the word that you chose right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, you start to not notice them anymore.
You don't. You don't.
Yeah,
That's because of the UFC and TKO. That's
yeah.
the main reason why. And they're doing a great job, I think, the TKO thing. How do you think TKO is do TKO? Yeah, I got it right. How do you think they're doing so far with this whole purchase or the whole deal or whatever?
I thought they were doing great, and then we find out that the owner of TKO was like, "Rock, I need your help, man, to sell tickets to this to Elimination Chamber. I need you to help out and show up." Like, really? Like that's the reason you had the Rock over because you couldn't sell tickets like that. That was like, that doesn't seem like the right way to use the Rock. I'm sure they didn't want to make that public or anything like that.
Right.
Well, The Rock is the one that made it public, so it is what it is. But yeah, my opinion is I thought that everything was being handled just fine, and even till this day, I still think that they're handling it just fine. Um, there are some things that's like, really, you're doing this, like when they brought Stephanie McMahon back into the fold, right? I love
Yeah,
Stephanie McMahon. Number one, I have no
I do
problem with
too.
her. The more Stephanie McMahon I see on my TV screen, the better. I only thought that, with her last name being McMahon, that they would probably tread waters a little bit more carefully. It's like, with all the Vince stuff going on over here in the courtroom, maybe we don't have a McMahon on our TV screens. But they decided to do it, and I haven't heard any person complain about it thus far.
Yeah. For me, I like it because it's starting to feel like more like a sport now. It's getting that more vibe. You see the UFC guys come in. You see these celebrities like we talked about earlier come in and all that. It's getting that more vibe of that, and that's where the promos come into play. The not promos, the logos. That's where the
Yeah.
logos come into play. So on that aspect, they're doing great. But the whole thing with The Rock, and that was just mismanaged. That was just terrible. That was a big knock. So I like it overall. I thought it's going to be better as the time goes on because Triple H has the creative freedom to do what he wants. Obviously, there's some stuff he can't cross and stuff like that, but creatively, it's been working tremendously.
And there's something that you said about the things that they're doing to make professional wrestling feel more like a sport, right? I like anytime I'm on ESPN, I'm watching a really great documentary on a player or a team, and I'm
Yeah,
seeing them pivot to that kind of strategy as well, where they're making these documentaries about the superstars that they want to focus on, or they want to make a documentary about WrestleMania itself. You remember they had a documentary that was posted only for YouTube about everything that transpired that led up to the WrestleMania 40 main event.
yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that. I remember that. Yeah,
and I remember watching that. And I'm like, this does not feel like a WWE documentary from the Vince regime. This feels very professional. This feels much more ESPN esque.
yeah. And here's another thing too. My buddy and I butt heads about this all the time, and that is kayfabe. Like you look at John Cena when he was on NBA or God, I forget the show on TNT. It will pop to me. But whenever John Cena was on that show, he was not on kayfabe at all. He was not being his own character. He was being himself. To me, that hurts the business in a way, but business-wise, sports-wise, that works great. That works great. No one does kayfabe anymore.
No, no, they really don't.
Inside the NBA, that was it. Inside the NBA, got it.
Inside the NBA. Yeah, no, I mean, for arguably kayfabe is dead. There's very, very few superstars that still keep kayfabe alive. I think MJF is arguably one of the ones that keeps it alive the most. Um, Another one is Dom. Dom
I
tries
was
to
just
keep
about to say that. I was just about to say Dom. Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio is keeping that kayfabe alive as much as he can. Um, especially when he gets asked questions about his dad, he always finds a way to talk shit about Ray.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. And he was on the podcast, like I said earlier, with Bradley Martin, Raw Talk, or whatever. He brought up a good point. Like, he loved saying no. He loved being the hated guy. Like, he would have this kid come up, ask him for a picture, be like, it's my birthday. And then he would go, everyone's got a birthday. Everyone's got a birthday. So what's so special about you? And then here's another thing too he brought up. It's like with the autograph stuff, you know that the parents are like to sell that on eBay and all that stuff. So he's like, wait, you brought your son here? You come here. You. And it's just like he's bringing out the more kayfabe. That's what I love about Dom. And he's now a face. Is he a face now or is he a heel?
I think he's still a heel technically. I think he's still healing. I think that they're still testing the waters here and there. Like maybe like they're probably thinking like maybe they're just cheering him as a babyface at Mania. Let's see what the next town does. Let's see what the next town does. Let's see what the next town does. I think that if they see that there's a consistent trend of people cheering him everywhere, then they'll probably take it to the next step. But in my opinion, that's just what I think. I think that they're just baby stepping. They're just tiptoeing into the water to see what every city cheers him like.
Yeah, yeah. And the crowds. I just want to talk about the crowds real quick because personally, after you see them like overseas, they've been killing it, like in France and everywhere. They've been killing it. And that's actually helped the US crowd a lot. I don't know if you noticed that recently, but with Randy Orton's theme song, the making of stupid chants like the Roman Reigns for Paul Heyman, that kind of stuff, and the crowd is shining so much better. There's still some cities that are lacking a little bit, but give me your opinions about the crowds.
Bro, so ever since that European tour, when they came back to the States, I feel like there are some cities where it's like, whoa, they really turned it up over there. We have to either get on the same level or out cheer the European crowd. So there are some cities that do that, and then there are others where there's just like, they're just continuing the trend that there have been. But yeah, I do notice it. Randy Orton especially is one of the ones that when he comes out, they sing his song, like really sing his song. Some cities do the Roman Reigns, or the Cody Rhodes chant. But I think that I think by far, by a landslide, European crowds have so much more gas in the tank when it comes to cheering
Yes.
than we do here.
I completely agree because we get to see them all the time, right? We get
Yep.
to see them all the time, and we take that for granted. Like honestly, we do. The U.S. takes that for granted, and then once you go to like out of the country, Saudi Arabia, like they have such big pops for like Randy Orton, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, like all the bigger names, and these pops just like blow the roof off. They blow the
Yeah.
roof off of these. And I'm just like, man, what is going on here? It's just like, bro, no. I'm just like, I was at WrestleMania 40. Like everyone was saying it was like so bad, the crowd was bad or whatever. It was cold. It was cold. Like I was bundled up. I could not yell. But night two, we picked it back up. So yeah, the crowds
where
are another thing.
where were you sitting?
I think I was like I was not usually in the 115 where I usually be. My dad couldn't get tickets. So we were probably like the 120 or 200, low 200s and stuff. So we were in the
Mm.
first thing. I got to look it up and I'll send it to you. But yeah, it's something I would never forget. Something I
Ah,
would never
man.
forget.
One day I'll make it to my first Mania, but you know what? I'm making it to my first SummerSlam this year. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna be this shirt right here. I'm gonna be wearing that shirt with me when I go to SummerSlam.
Oh my God. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Wow.
wearing that shirt for SummerSlam. I gotta bring Jeff with me to SummerSlam. He and I never made it to a SummerSlam together, period at all. So I'm bringing that shirt with me.
Oh my God, that is crazy. And AK comes in right at the right time. What is up, AK?
AK,
What is
welcome,
up?
welcome to the show.
Appreciate you coming in, man. Really do. Hit that like. Hit that like, bro. But yeah, you said you wanted to bring up something about to talk about here on the show. Bring it up. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so one of my other hot takes, conversational hot takes for tonight was talking about wrestlers that undergo gimmick changes, right? Either some that never needed a gimmick change to win a world title, or ones that needed that gimmick change to win a world title, and then relating that back to the main roster of today. So let's take up some examples first, just so that everybody understands what we're talking about. So number one that I'm going to bring up is Brock Lesnar. Brock
Okay.
Lesnar. Brock Lesnar broke into WWE, and that entire time, from the debut to the championship win, never changed his personality, never changed his gimmick. He won a world title just like that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, I think I mentioned this one to you before. Goldberg
Yes.
debuted in WWE, never needed a gimmick change, stayed exactly who he was, and he won a world title.
Yeah. That is
Okay.
that is crazy. Yeah.
Now let's talk about ones that needed a gimmick change. So let's talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay. Yep.
Debuted as the Ringmaster. Would the Ringmaster have won a world title, in your opinion?
No.
No. He needed that evolution to his character to become Stone Cold Steve Austin, to become somebody that you could look at and be like, oh yeah, he could definitely win a world title. Absolutely.
Yep.
Right? Let's talk about another one who needed
The
who
Rock.
needed.
The Rock.
Yes, The Rock. Rocky Maivia would probably not have won a world title, right? But he
Yep.
became The Rock,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
afterwards won world title after world title after world title.
here's another one too. John Cena. John Cena.
Perfect
It,
example.
it's just like with Stephanie
Perfect.
McMahon. Stephanie McMahon saw something in him in the bus. Him rapping. Just him rapping alone saved his career, pretty much. And now he's the
Yep.
greatest of all time.
Yep.
Like Shawn Michaels and the Rockers. Okay. Triple H too.
Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, that blue collar character,
Yeah.
right? We would not have been able to see him to win a world title until he became the game. Shawn Michaels as the Rocker, no, he needed to become Shawn Michaels the HBK to
Yeah.
win a world title.
Uh-huh. So, I'm trying to think of another one. I had one on the tip of my tongue. Oh, we were talking about different promotions, right? Going one from the other.
Yeah.
Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona.
Oh,
Is that a
that
is that a good one or
that's a
because
good one.
because
That is a very good one.
he went to the independent scene. He had to change his character, change his name, and whatever. And look where he is now.
Could could Zack Ryder, if given a chance, could Zack Ryder have won a world championship?
No, I truly do not. Not with the internet. Well, technically, he was for internet champion. He was technically that, but I don't think so. With all this talent we got now, I feel like he
Yeah,
would have been like pushed down to the side. And so
right.
I still see him coming here because of Chelsea Green. I still see
Yeah.
that coming out some point down the line, but I don't think he'll get a world title, not with this roster.
AK,
Brad,
I've mentioned this example before. Bradshaw had to become JBL. Bradshaw of the APA, he was super successful as a tag team wrestler, but when he broke off, became his own person, found his identity, became JBL. I was absolutely convinced this guy is definitely world champion caliber with this persona. Now, one that comes to mind is Shelton Benjamin.
yep.
Shelton Benjamin, he's never won a world title. In his most recent WWE run, could he have given a chance, been a convincing world champion, or do you think he would have needed to change to become a more convincing champion?
Yeah. Shelton Benjamin, it's just like I love Shelton Benjamin, especially in the Money in Bank ladder matches. Like he always had that spots or whatever, but I just never saw him being a world title, being a world champion. I never saw it. He was a great wrestler. He had all the talent in the world, but I don't see it. Shelton Benjamin, here's another one too. But when you go back to his previous gimmick, he could have, but he never got the chance to. Kofi Kingston.
Oh, okay.
Talk about hot takes, right? Kofi
Yeah.
Kingston, that Jamaican Kofi, that was my favorite edition of Kofi Kingston. That song, the match he would have had, the spots at the Royal Rumble, that spot I mean, that gimmick of Kofi Kingston could have got somewhere. Could have gotten somewhere.
You say Kofi Kingston, and you made me think of somebody else, and I'm gonna drop him for you right now. All right?
I think I know. Is it a New Day?
No,
It's not Big E.
no,
Okay, it's not Xavier Woods then. Okay.
no, no.
Uh,
Carlito.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my, he was such a great heel, just never properly booked. I met
So
Carlito too. Great guy.
So
Um,
Carlito, in my opinion, is still the same guy that he was when he first debuted, right? He's still doing the Apple gimmick. He still spits. He's still trying to be cool and everything. He's just part of the faction. He's just part of Judgment Day.
yeah,
Could do you see Carlito in this gimmick that he's got? Could he be a convincing champion for you, or do you think he would need to change?
I think he would need to change right now because I've been stressing enough that Carlito needs to do something. They bring him back, sign him to like a Legends deal, and this is what they do. When was the last time he even had a singles match?
Long time, man. Long,
Exactly
long
my
time.
point. So for me, it's just like if not Kofi, if Carlito was back in the original gimmick, yes, I could see him being a world title then. Now I don't see anything. Here's another one too. He was a world champion, but did his gimmick really change though? That was Finn Balor.
Ooh,
Did his
I would,
gimmick really change though?
I would say yes. I
Okay.
would say, I would say he has changed. I think that he's become more intense. Like when he wrestles in the ring, he's a very. I see him as like a pretty as one of those who wrestles very stiffly. Like he's a hard hitter, just like Sheamus, just like Gunther. He's definitely scaled back the demon character, but when he first broke in, he would have regular matches as Finn Balor, but then leading up to the big payoff match, that's when he brings the demon out.
Yeah.
In my like I think that he didn't really need to change. I think that's totally something that he could have kept exactly as that regular Finn Balor, and then brings out the demon when necessary. You don't really need to change that. You want to show more layers to the character and give him more depth. Okay, that's fine, but no need to completely change him. I never really thought that he needed to be in a faction, but hey, they made it work, so that's fine.
D'Lo Brown was another good one. D'Lo Brown is another good one. Here's someone that needed a
Oh,
character. D'Lo Brown was a good one. Here's another character or a gimmick change. Dominic Mysterio. Would he actually been a world champion or intercontinental champion with his dad? No.
no.
Let me go. Hey, again, Damian Priest. Remember how when he
Damian
first Damian Priest. Here's another
Damian
one.
Priest when he first
Rhea
came up
Ripley.
was, yeah, yep.
Everyone in the original Judgment Day.
Gosh, Edge.
How many characters? How? Oh my God! Yeah, you're right on that. Dang.
Like excellent. He was a great singles competitor when he first debuted. Then he tagged with Christian, amazing tag team wrestler, right? But even with all of those, he was still missing something, and it wasn't until he changed his gimmick and became the rated R superstar, and that's when he blew everyone out of the water, right?
Yeah.
That was one of the best, most needed gimmick changes that somebody got. Rated R superstar became a super convincing champion, in my opinion.
I completely agree with you on that one.
And
I'm,
AK mentioning Mark Henry, that's another great one right there.
yep. Mark Henry. Yeah, definitely. Talk of Thunder. Come on.
When when he was sexual chocolate, hell no. I
Sexual
could not have
chocolate.
seen
Yeah.
when he was sexual chocolate, I would not have been able to see him as a world champion.
No.
Hardcore champion, yes. Intercontinental champion, sure. But he would like under that gimmick, he would hit a glass ceiling and wouldn't be able to break through. Now, Hall of Fame Mark Henry,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
definitely, 100%.
All right.
Now, now, here's one from today:
Okay.
Chad Gable.
Are you counting El Grande Americano?
Let's count all of that in there.
Okay. Maya. Oh my God. Maya. Oh God. That should be short.
Oh boy.
Thank you for that, AK. Thank you for that.
Oh man.
Uh, Chad Gable. Yes. Obviously, yes. But if they just put him in the IC title against Gunther at WrestleMania 40 instead of having Sami Zayn, he could have got it.
Could have.
He could have got it. So he's a speed champion now.
I feel like Chad Gable last year and Chad Gable of today, right? I
Yeah.
think I think that Chad Gable of last year, that babyface Chad Gable who had that passion, that wanted that WrestleMania match with Gunther to be the IC champion, that Chad Gable, I saw him as a world champion,
Yeah.
100%. He
Yeah.
reminded me of Kurt Angle. He was like the second coming of Kurt Angle. All right. Now, Chad Gable of now, I think as entertaining as this version of Chad Gable is, it's still on the same level as where he was last year, which is not a bad thing because he's still very entertaining. But I think that even the Chad Gable of today is still world champion worthy. I don't know if he needs to drop the Grande Americano storyline or gimmick to be able to become that champion. Because even when he turned heel, I still saw it. But I mean, what do you think? Do you think he needs to drop the Grande Americano gimmick angle to become a world champion, or he can become a world champion with this Grande Americano gimmick?
He could become champion with this Grande Americano gimmick because it's getting over. It's in the main, like it's just so funny, right? And it's like one of those things that you can just pick up and just laugh. Right? AK's not the biggest Chad Gable fan, so yeah. For me, yes, but it goes back no because I don't think it's gonna last very long. I think he's gonna lose it at the what is that thing called?
Worlds collide.
World Collide. Thank you. I think he's gonna lose that and take the mask off there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to that. Hopefully that comes
Will
true, but he can become a world champion with this Grande Americano.
willingly, or he'll be forced to take off the mask, or the mask will get taken off of him.
It'll be a mask versus mask match.
Mask versus mask. Okay.
So either way, but the question is, who's he gonna face? Is Ray back from injury yet?
Not yet. Not yet. I think it was a groin injury that he had, and I don't think he's back yet. Um,
So Ray
I
Phoenix, Penta.
Either Ray Phoenix, or Penta, or Dragon Lee. Maybe we don't really see much of Dragon Lee that much anymore. I think
So
Chad is
he,
very talented, but dude needs to stop just being a bitch. Let his balls drop and be a man. Kind of give me an angle turn, and we can talk. AK, that is right there a hot take. That is a hot take right there.
I agree with that. It's just funny at this point. The whole thing is just funny there. Damn it. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other guys who went from a promotion to a promotion, like who actually succeeded. Technically, MJF, he was in WWE for that one time.
As a
Technically,
security guard.
yeah, he was there. Joe
Yeah.
Hendry, he was in WWE.
Oh, yes, he was. Yeah,
So does
I
that
remember.
count? The- yeah.
Um,
How any females? Any female character or gimmick changes besides Rhea Ripley?
besides Rhea Ripley, well, I
Oh, I
mean,
got it. I got it. Naomi.
yeah.
Remember when she was with the Funkadactyls?
Yeah,
All
oh
that.
my God.
I love the Funkadactyls. I truly did. But yeah, you have that, and then you had the glow gimmick, and then now she could be a world champion with this gimmick.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Has she been a world champion yet? A women's
No,
world champion? No.
no,
Wow.
she hasn't even been an Intercontinental champion yet.
Oh man,
What
she's
about you
due.
started?
She is due.
Naomi is due. Yeah, definitely. She
So
needs
here,
something.
so here's another one. Jade Cargill. Do you think, as who she is now, you could see her as a world champion, or does she need to change something?
I could see her as a world champion right now. She's got the body type. She's got the character. She's larger than life. Yes, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. Did you know that Hogan was not the first man to slam on? It was. It's just because it was at WrestleMania. Yeah, I forget who actually dropped him first.
I forget too, but that was just that was Vince McMahon's way of thinking. It doesn't count if it doesn't count if it never happened in the WWF at the time. If it never
Yeah,
happened in WWF, that means it never happened.
like Ric Flair's, right?
Yeah.
Like how many titles he's won? What was it, like 21 or something?
Yeah, I think the more accurate count is 21, but they choose to only acknowledge the 16.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. Same reason for Charlotte Flair. They choose not to acknowledge her NXT title wins.
Yeah, Becky Lynch. There's another character change, gimmick change. Becky Lynch, and you can thank Nia Jax for that one.
Oh yeah.
You can thank Nia Jax for that one. So yeah, and AK, I agree with you on this as well. And hey, Seth Rollins is your favorite. Gee, I want to know why. I know why now. But yeah, you got. And I'm trying to think any other female ones. Bailey. Eh, yeah, wasn't she a world champion with that gimmick the first go around?
The hugger gimmick, yes, she was.
Okay, so that's out.
Sasha Banks.
Well, yeah, she was world champion, right?
She she came in as the boss gimmick.
Yeah,
Never changed. She never changed. She came in as the boss gimmick. She won it as the boss, and she was still doing the boss gimmick even during her walkout. She's still doing it now in AEW, except she's calling herself the CEO. There's no gimmick change there at all.
yeah. I'm trying to think of any other ones. Nothing really comes to mind at this point. Like I think, do you think any others? It's like not a lot of female ones.
Female ones. I mean, when I
We
think of
already mentioned Bailey, but she was a world champion with a hugger gimmick. I got one. I don't like this guy, Drew McIntyre.
well, how do you not like Drew McIntyre?
He cries all the time, dude. It gets annoying. Drew
But he's
McIntyre, come
right
on.
with
Yes,
everything he says. He's right.
but he keep on losing in the big time moments. Except for this past WrestleMania, he got a get back finally. But
Yeah, he did.
he finally got a get. Heath Slater.
Oh my God, Heath Slater. I got kids.
Yeah. Oh my God, this just hit me. Jinder Mahal.
Yes.
That might be the most controversial one out of all of these because he beat Randy Orton, and you see the crowd just go like, Jinder Mahal.
And And for some, the gimmick change doesn't come until you look different, physically. And Jinder Mahal was one of them, man. Like you look back to what he looked like when he was in 3MB,
Yeah.
and then fast forward to what he looked like when he became a world champion. Dude got super. He bulked up so much, and I am one of the ones that I'm one of the few that enjoyed Jinder Mahal as a world champion.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
I can't remember if I did or not. But Sable or China?
Sable or China, dude, man. Like though, like even those, man. China never really changed, in my opinion. She came in, bodybuilder type of physique, and within a few years won the women's title. Kane holds that just because of his unmasking. That unmasking was legendary. Oh yeah, that's another one that went through a lot of changes.
You know who else went through one? Big Show.
Oh,
How many of
so
those did he have? He returned
poor,
face to heel and back in one segment.
poor Big Show. Oh my gosh, the amount of times he would change. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, but Jinder Mahal. Yeah. Like that is just
dude, there's so
crazy.
many. There's so
There's
many.
so
We could go for hours talking about all these different types. But that's definitely a talking point that I wanted to bring up tonight. Just because it's something that I noticed. There are some wrestlers that could be world champion as they are right now, versus people that they need to change. They need to show an evolution to their character to become a world champion. And I just thought, um, you know, when you really think about it, those that need to change versus those that don't need to change. I just thought that was an interesting talking point to bring up, just because
I
it gave me a certain level of awareness that I didn't realize existed
yeah,
when it comes to looking at these superstars in a different light from that aspect.
yep. I definitely agree on that. This was nice to go back memory lane. Definitely. Yeah, next week we gotta do what is it? Saturday's main event predictions next
Yeah.
week.
Yep.
Oh my god, Braun Strowman. I completely forgot.
We never talked about Braun Strowman.
Oh
You
my god,
know,
what?
we got to talk about big men. We got to talk about the big men superstars, the ones that the ones that were great, and the ones that probably did not go over also well.
Yeah. Undertaker had a character change too. Had a gimmick change too. Well,
Undertaker to American Badass,
yeah,
back to
changed a lot.
Undertaker. Yeah,
No, before
absolutely.
that, before even Undertaker. What was that? I forget what it was. That's how bad it was.
I think in
And
WWE, I think WCW, he was known as Mean Mark Callis or something,
that was it. That was it.
and he was paired up with Paul Heyman.
Yeah, crazy. All right, man. This was a great show. If you want to close it out,
Yeah, man. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. That's about time for us. Keep an eye out for the next episode next week, episode 11 of Hot Takes and Headlocks. We appreciate you guys chiming in. Thank you so much for everybody. Oh,
yes, sir.
Y2J. There it is, man. Y2J. We didn't talk about Y2J. That is also a really good one. But yeah, tune in next week, same time, same day. I really appreciate you having you on here, Mitch. Thank you so much.
Of course, man. I'm here. I'm here. And next week it's going to be a good one. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Peace, guys. Have a good one.